Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the West East podcast. My name is Amanda, and as always, I'm joined by the one and only Dr. Art. Good morning, Dr. Art.
Good morning.
We are sipping some tea today because we will be spilling the tea about beauty standards. And I heard that you are extra committed for this episode, Dr. Art. It's true? How's
Yeah,
everything?
I am under the weather today. My voice will also might tell you that I have a little bit of viral.
So Dr. Art will be giving her best impression of a jazz singer, hints of Nina Simone in this
It
episode.
reminds me of
Uh,
that smelly cat song.
yes, 100%. She's giving her best Phoebe Buffet. If you can give us a rendition of, what was it, Sticky Shoe or something?
Sticky shoe.
Sticky Shoe, I think. And we'll both be nursing some tea. My voice is fine, but I said if you're gonna have tea, I might as well, and then we can make the fun joke, folks. Today we're talking about beauty standards throughout the ages. It sounds like a really epic title, but really, if you think about the theme of this season and all the conversations we've had about common chaos and being real and being true to yourself, I think the concept of beauty is an interesting conversation when you think about a Western perspective, an Eastern perspective, and then just overall, I find, Dr. Art, that you and I are kind of counterculture when it comes to beauty standards because we make our own. Would you agree?
100%.
So, so where to begin? I think the okay, for me, the first thing that comes to mind is uh, like there is, okay, correct me if I'm wrong here, but is there not, there's a fixation, and you see it like even in like Bollywood movies of like actors being more like fair skinned, and I know that it's a huge conversation of like shadeism in a lot of communities, uh, uh, like an Asian communities, especially. I had a friend who taught in South Korea, and she said that she had to have her mother send, this was like many years ago, her mother had to send her skincare products because all of the skincare products had some sort of like whitener
Bleach.
or something
Yeah,
like that
or
would, yeah,
brightening agent.
yeah, that would like that would literally whiten the skin. The reason why I bring that up is in the West, there's the opposite approach where there's this obsession with tanning. There's like everybody wears bronzer, self tanning cream. There's tanning booths everywhere. People have tanning booths in their home. People are constantly going to the beach in the summer because they want that like golden glow. So they're trying to get rid of pale skin. I'll go into the history in a bit, but is it true what I said about like, does it happen in India?
Definitely, it
And
has happened with me also because I have a little bit of whitish skin. So many of my fair skin friends has passed comment on my when I was a kid. I used to hear it a lot, and then that time it used to confuse me a lot, and it used to make me feel that I am not beautiful enough, or I am not, as per the standard according to them. Then later on, as I grew old, I understood that it's just in the mind.
hmm and I always like I always tell Shivam that I really like that, like I like, it's a weird thing to say, like I like your skin color. That's a weird thing to say, and I don't say it like that. uh, but I've always been this
Nowadays,
pale.
if you
And
comment anything, you can be a racist also sometimes.
oh, 100%, right? Just like I man,
We have to be
I've be,
very careful what we speak.
yeah, I'm super proud because I feel like I've become my nonna, and that has been my life goal. So there you go. But no, but like I've always been this pale, like this like pasty white, and my family's Italian, so it's kind of funny because my father in the summer would get like a really really deep tan, and same
Oh,
with my brother when we would go on vacation, like they, because there's some southern Italian in my family, so they're like they would have that like olive skin that you think about when you think about Italians, but I have, my skin colors match the Canadian flag. It's like pale white or sunburn red. So I I'm a true Canadian with my with the tone of my skin. But but I like growing up, there was a girl that I went to school with, and she had like this like perfect olive skin, and it was like smooth, like when you're growing up you have acne, and her skin was always smooth, and I always wanted that complexion. Like I didn't like being the pale kid with freckles. Now I don't care so much. I have other things to worry
Yeah.
about, but it was interesting to me to hear this. And I should have started with this, but you're beautiful. You're beautiful, Dr. Art, and you're beautiful just the way you are. So,
Yeah, we all are actually.
100%, 100%. One of the things we
So
can talk about in a
as
moment
you said,
is like,
Nonna, I would like to
yeah,
add to this point is my Nonna used to, like, as a kid, I used to go visit her in the vacations. So I had a
hmm
habit of renting a bicycle and ride along whole day in the summer, like in the whether it is sun, whether it is whatever, I don't care. I used
yeah.
to go and ride along whole day and then come back. So she used to tell me, "Oh, you are so you will become so black. What will happen to your face?" And she used to, make she used to like be angry at me for that point. I never used to care.
No, you gotta. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you didn't care. I'm glad you lived your life. The irony for me is that isn't melanin actually like better for
Protective.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
you like I'm at a greater risk of getting like skin cancer, right?
Mm,
Than
mm,
you, because you have more melanin. So it just always struck me as odd. Let me tell you a bit about the like Western history that I know. And I'll be completely upfront. I know this because of an author named Margaret Visser, who
mm-hmm,
I hope I said her name right, but she used to write like articles, and then she has a couple of books, and her work has been described to me as kind of like useless cocktail knowledge. It's certainly not useless because I'm making use of it right now, but what I mean
yeah.
by that is when you read her stories, she kind of gives these like breakdowns and the like history of certain things, but nothing that you would study in school or that would be useful
Ah,
to you in your career. It's more just like for
okay,
a social conversation. Yeah, so
okay.
one of the things that she wrote an article about was this idea of how like it used to be about how pale you were, and you can go back
Mm,
in time to like Victorian era, I think, and like the Tudor era, where they would like put like that pasty white makeup, and it was a
yes.
sign of being wealthy, right? If you were pale, it probably meant that you weren't working outside, right? So you must be
Mm,
upper class. And it
mm,
was to the point that people would have bathing carts. So they would have like a horse and buggy type situation, but there was like a hole at the bottom so that the
mm,
horse could go into the water and the person could swim without actually getting like any sun, so that they could maintain their complexion and still enjoy the
mm,
water. They were that dramatic. Um, uh,
yeah.
it makes me laugh, right? Wealthy people, it makes me laugh. But so then what happened is in the 30s, Chanel tried to like change this idea of like tanning being the it thing. And Scott Fitzgerald, who wrote The Great Gatsby, he also wrote, oh my gosh, that's the name. I did write down this name. Tender is the Night is a 1934 novel that he wrote, and it really promotes this idea of being like sun kissed and tanning, and that is the point in history where you see the shift from
Shift.
wanting to be as pale as possible to wanting to be like tanned in the West.
Mm.
uh, but I always just found that really funny. I was like, so on
So
one side of the world they're trying to tan, and on the other side of the world they're trying to whiten their skin. I'm like, what, can we
yeah,
find balance here and just love
we have so
ourselves?
many fairness cream, which is like when my mom was younger, from that time till today, it's still selling, and no one is getting fairer.
Yeah. uh, and I agree with what you said about like everybody's beautiful just the way you are. Like, it sounds like such a cliche
It's our
statement.
conditioning actually, that
Yeah,
there are standards given, and we are like constantly comparing ourselves. At least I used to, because I wanted to get fit in my friends and in my, because as a
yeah,
kid I was always outside the box, or it used to I don't know, somehow I used to be left alone or something like that. So I
yeah.
had to put lot of effort to be part of, maybe because I was different or something, I don't know. But I
hmm
had to put lot of effort to convince to be a part of herd or part of group which is going on. Like people
yeah.
have told me on my face that you can't dance because you are fat. Like you can't be in our dance group because you're
I've
fat.
seen you dance. You can dance. Okay, I'm just saying.
No, no, that's okay.
uh,
Luckily, I could. I found another group where I could dance that time.
good,
But I'm just
and you
saying that
can
it
dance.
was that
Yeah,
intense in my childhood.
yeah, yeah. And I think that you touch on something really important, which is this like social comparison theory? Is that kind of
Yeah.
what you're describing? I think that that's
Yes,
a natural
definitely.
thing, and girls do it a lot too, right? Because I'm not saying boys don't, but I'm not a
Yeah.
boy, so
It.
like
So we don't know
boys
what's
compete in
going on in
different
their
ways.
head. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But for girls, if we talk about like growing up and um, uh, let's talk about social comparison theory. Just before we do, I'll tell you that growing up, I was a tomboy. That's what the expression
Me
would
too.
be.
I think we
Right,
both had
yeah,
a similar
100
childhood, kind of.
100%. And I played sports growing up. Like I grew up in a town where most of my friends who were girls danced. And, so they were into makeup and hair. And I know that for the podcast, I doll up, but if you notice, I don't even dye my hair really. So like I got like grays going on, and I love to tell people I will dye my hair when I want to, but I earned these gray hairs, okay? So
Yeah.
I'm going to show them and get the respect that I deserve um, for earning these hairs. But what I was going to say was that I actually used to play sports with the boys at recess. So I like my version of social comparison theory is like I would just run away from it. I was like, I'm the different one. That's who I am. But really it's like because I didn't want to compare myself to other people because I didn't know a thing about makeup and I didn't know the
Yeah.
first thing about doing my hair. You know what I mean? So can you talk about what social comparison theory is and how it relates to this
So
conversation?
so it's like since childhood, even if your parents or even if your relatives or even yourself, even you see, because whatever your foundation is, it is laid in 2 to 7 years of age. So
Mm-hmm.
your family, your peers, your school is the who are laying your foundation. So if you see at your home, if you see at your school, where they said this kid has she is beautiful, or you should be like this, or these are the
Mm.
standards, it's not out loud said, but it's
Yeah.
in, if you see in their behavior, which is acceptance. So that way we, so even if imagine if there is a wedding and there is like bridesmaids are there and they are wearing the same dress, if you see, they are still comparing themselves who is looking better.
Yeah. Yeah.
That way,
Yeah.
like your hair is better than mine, your eye is better than mine, your makeup is better
Yeah.
than mine. So
Yeah.
that
Your
is
shoes.
ingrained
Your.
in us, that
Mm-hmm.
outside aesthetic or whatever appearance or whatever the tick box which has been conditioned us in our head, if we don't fall into the tick box, we are not beautiful. And we
Yeah. Yeah.
constantly subconsciously compare ourselves till date, unless you unlearn that part, to others. And
Mm-hmm.
it either demotivates you or makes you envious, or makes you bitter, or makes you low self esteem, depending on your operating system, you behave like that. And
Yeah.
if you see some of people who become anorexic to the extent to be to have a model like structure, and it's not they are doing it consciously or they are want to do it, but
No.
it is their heart, they are so much pressurized in their head that they have to do it. Or
Yeah.
on the contrary, like people like me, I used to have low self esteem, so emotional eating was my coping mechanism. So I used to like
Mm-hmm.
if I feel
Yeah.
that I'm not good enough for some reason, people used to like pass comment and I used to take it personally because I didn't know better. So that
Yeah.
version of me used to do emotional eating, and that was a vicious cycle. Like it landed up me
Yeah.
with weight, and that landed up with more comments like that and more comparison like that. So the
Yeah.
comparison itself is, I would say, we should understand we all are unique. You have your qualities, I have my qualities. I can acquire one of them by being with you, but I can never be you or you can never be me. We all are unique and we all are important and
Yeah.
we all are beautiful. So the
Yeah,
comparison kills the joy of, experiencing things.
yeah. Yeah, I completely agree, and I think that this reminds me of the conversation we just had about celebrities, right? That could amplify it. You see, a celebrity wearing something or styling themselves a certain way, and you everybody wants to be like them, or it like the idea of like how social media has completely amplified this because now you're not just competing with the girls you go to school with, you're
Yeah.
competing in your head with all of the people you're seeing on your feed. um, uh, I, I think that you
If you see on social
beauty,
media, everybody is
yeah,
happy and everybody is beautiful, but inside, are you really happy? No one asks that question, to yourself
and
also.
nobody, yeah, and it's really like people aren't really willing to show you their bad days, let's say, right? Because they want to
Yeah.
roll out the highlight reel for social media. Unless there's like some way that they think they can get sympathy, and I'm not accusing anybody of anything.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just the types of posts that you see and the types of habits that you see like uh, posts fall into. But the last thing that you said, but which was very beautiful, and about how comparison kind of kills the joy, and we're unique, we all have our own qualities.
You want to do
I think.
makeup, do it, but do it
Mhm,
for yourself. Like, you want to do eyeliner, you want to do
yeah,
hair, that is for your happiness. It should not be because
yes,
that person will think I'm beautiful, or I should look presentable. Yeah, at
exactly.
certain standard, when you are working, when you are professional, and certain things you need to do, that is okay, but that should
Mhm,
also be at your own convenience.
yeah,
Like, i
yeah, and
do uh, i do professional
yeah.
look, but I never put makeup because I don't like it.
Yes. Yeah. And I'll tell you something, I actually don't wear makeup when I go to work. Like I show up to work, I'll make sure obviously that I look presentable and professional.
Yeah, so
I'll usually do my hair, but I don't wear makeup. And it's on purpose because I want I don't want to like how do I say this? For me, when I put on makeup, I feel very like dolled
I
up,
feel
right? Because I
uncomfortable.
yeah, like uh uh I used to feel uncomfortable. I feel more comfortable now. But if I wear makeup at work, I feel so dramatic. And I see other women at work wearing makeup and they look beautiful, and I never think about
Oh,
that.
I
But when
love
it's
them. My
me,
mom looks beautiful in makeup and she loves doing
oh,
makeup. Like, we are
oh
poles
my
apart
gosh,
in
she's a
that.
model. Yeah,
Yeah, so she
eh,
enjoys that. So for her, that
yeah,
is perfect.
yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. And like you can tell by how somebody wears it. If they're confident, then their makeup looks great. If they're not confident, you know what I mean? Then like
Yeah.
I would
They
just feel
keep
like,
on
oh, you,
dabbing, they keep on,
yeah.
like, redoing it.
And I've seen you in makeup before and you look wonderful, but I know what you're saying. You wear it on your terms. I think that's the
Yeah.
most beautiful. We've talked a lot about like surface beauty, which is, I think, the first thing people think about. Um,
Yeah.
the last thing you said about people having certain qualities reminds me of a deeper conversation about self-worth. So
Yeah.
like when like that phrase beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? When people say that word beauty, you're beautiful, people always think about like your looks, and it's kind of
Yeah.
like ingrained in our culture that, I mean, it's the first thing you see.
It
We're
is
visual
conditioning. That
creatures.
is our conditioning. Yeah.
Exactly. But what's the difference for you? Or how can we put self-worth in that definition and appreciate beauty without like being trapped in it, or like pigeonholing ourselves into thinking it's just about your appearance. Uh,
So, how
yeah,
you feel inside, your perception is like that outside. So
yeah,
imagine on the worst day you are feeling your just this is how I used to differentiate when I was learning when I in my therapy and all, because
okay,
when I was going through certain phase, I used to hate myself. I used to find flaws because I was going through something, and I
yeah,
was made feel that I'm not a woman enough or something like that. So I used to find all the flaws. Oh, my face is like this, my eyes, oh, I don't look, yeah, he was right, something like that. So that time, whenever I used to see myself in mirror, I used to find 100 flaws in my face. And then I took therapy, I understood, I healed myself. I'm still healing. It's not 100, like I'm still going through that journey, but I'm much better now. But when I see
Yeah.
my face now, I see no. I feel good inside, so I see that's in myself. So what is the that beauty is in eye of the beholder. That beholder is yourself actually. So if you are
Yeah.
feeling good inside, you will find, oh, I have a good smile. Oh, I have a good eye. Your whole perception changes. The more
Yeah.
confident you are, the more beautiful you will carry yourself. So it's how
Yeah.
much you self worth, how much you self love, that is much more important than your outside beauty. Yeah, definitely, you want to look certain way, you want to do certain thing, that is nothing wrong with outside beauty, if it that you want to do, but it should not be at the cost of making you small or making you shrink. You yourself, whatever you feel inside will reflect in your eye. So
Yeah.
inner work or inner happiness or inner beauty is more as important as outside beauty as well.
Hmm. Yeah. Very well said. And I think that that's a good
Like
that's a
just
good
imagine you are in a mirror, you smile and you see your face when you are happy, you feel good. The same face
yeah.
when you are sad and you are crying, you will find 10 flaws and you don't want to look into the mirror because you don't want to see that image of yourself, because in your head it is ingrained that you are as beautiful when you are crying as well. It's just in your head.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I think you and I have spoken about this not on the podcast, but just in our life because we
Personal
talk a
note,
lot
yeah,
to each
yeah.
other. Yeah, where you've said this to me before, and it always stuck with me. Where you said like nothing's really good or bad; it just is. You know what I mean? So
It's the
we attach the
perception.
meaning to it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's your perception, and so I like to read. It's that's no secret. I talk about books on this podcast, but we had an episode last season where we talked about books, and it's a thing that even like people at work know about me because I used to keep several books at my desk when I was going in office all the time, and I always have like a at least one book like in my purse. I just really I've always loved to read, and that kind of came out of being like bullied and not feeling, I wasn't really girly like I just said. So I said, okay, if looks aren't my thing, I'm gonna be the smartest person in the room. I'm gonna like dive into like
Smart one.
learning and yeah, like and it uh, I don't know, like I believe in God, so I got to thank God because I feel like I was given a gift of um always pivoting to like a solution mode. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not going to dwell on this. I'm going to go into solution mode. So that's a really long
I was stuck
introduction.
for I was stuck in victim mortality for most of my life, and still I grew this much.
Mhm.
So I'm very grateful to God.
Yeah, I think that you're a lot stronger. You're realizing it now, but my impression from us speaking is that you're a lot stronger than you ever realized, and now you're starting to realize it. So look out, world. Okay, Dr. Art is coming. Uh, but really though, for me,
Thank you.
like uh, what I was saying about reading before and learning and pivoting into that like solution mode is that. My dad passed away. Uh, um, it's been 10 years, and I had such a low point, like as anybody would, right? He was pretty young, and so I turned to books, and I was like
Mm.
trying to find how do I
The
cope? How do I
solution,
cope? Like,
yeah.
yeah, because like I was like I don't. He was he was like my biggest like cheerleader, you could say, and like support, and like he was the one that we would argue but like intentionally because we like to get into those like intellectual debates. And so anyways, in trying to like find my confidence again, I turned to different books like I think there's a book called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, and 150 Secrets of
Yeah.
Mental Toughness, and all of those like motivational speakers like Tony Robbins and Bob Proctor and Gary Vaynerchuk, and I think even Grant Cardone, which is a
All are
little bit out
great.
there, but yeah, like but so what I learned from all of them um, is that uh, you, what your the story you're telling yourself is the way you're going to see the world. So I would
Yes,
literally stand in
definitely.
front of the mirror and say affirmations. Like I would just be like, you are the best at whatever my job was at the time. You're the best at this, and you're going to be awesome today, and like look at you go. And like at first I didn't believe it and it felt silly, but I literally did it every day, every day, every day. Like it was like almost delusional, you could say, but then it started to work. And I write messages of gratitude every day. And these are things that people like might think are hokey, but just try it. Ignore the inner saboteur that's telling you that like this is weird, and just try it. Try something that puts it in your subconscious that you should feel good about you, because life is way too short for people to be hating on themselves, and
Yes,
to just be
definitely.
focusing on something shallow, right? Uh,
Yeah.
I feel like I really like RuPaul's Drag Race. This is confession time, and I feel very much like when RuPaul says at the end of her show, uh, she'll always say, "If you can't love yourself, how in the heck are you going to love anybody else?"
Anybody
And
else?
then,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, anybody
So
else. And then
the
she says, "Can I get
internal
an
dialogue
amen?"
need to shift from internal critique should become internal,
Yeah,
compassion. We judge ourselves so much that
yeah,
reflects in our outer world as well.
yeah,
So
100%.
initially, the beautiful thing about subconscious mind is it's very, it's very you can relearn or you can unlearn things, and
Yep,
that
yep.
will reflect in your outside world. The moment internal shifts happen, you will see the external shift as well. So
Yep.
initially, when you are trying to be positive, so many negative surface emotions or the dialect will surface up, but you have to
Hmm.
cross that resistance by thinking that this is my past learning. It was useful for me till now, but now I have to, this has no use for me, so now I have to relearn or unlearn things, and that will
Yeah,
help you the internal shift, and then you will see the confidence boost, the love boost, because we all feel love inside. No one can make us feel anything unless we want to feel it.
yeah, yeah, I completely agree. Okay, so I think that I mean I had some other things prepared to discuss, but I really like the direction this conversation went in. So we got really real and really vulnerable today, and I'm totally okay with that because we looked fabulous while doing it. Um, uh, if people are interested in looking, you can look up. Maybe we'll put some articles in the description that talk about fashion throughout the ages, and like even like makeup throughout the ages, because everything cycles through. So
Sorry.
my final word is just that, whatever's old will be new again at some point. And instead of following a trend, there's nothing wrong with that if it makes you
You
happy.
can.
But beat to your own drum, right? That's
Yeah.
my final word. What's your final word for this episode, Dr. Art, about beauty standards?
Love yourself. You are amazing person and amazing soul. Never forget that, and rest everything fall into the place if you do that much.
Yes. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. All right. I think that's a perfect place to end it. Thank you for uh, having this conversation, even though you are under the weather. Um, and we will look for the bonus credits for your rendition of My Sticky Shoe. Um, Shout out to Phoebe Buffet, Lisa Kudrow. And thank you, everybody, for being a part of this conversation. If you feel comfortable to share anything about what we discussed, and you want to talk about your POV on beauty standards, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. And we will be back next week to have another discussion. So we will see you then. But for now, we'll say goodbye. Say goodbye, Dr.
Goodbye.
Hart. Goodbye,
Three
everybody.
for my city, four for my city. No, I'm the one who'd go to war for my city. Five for my city, six is my city. Holla at me if y'all vibe with my city. Come try on my city, don't you lie in my city. Symbol of truth, I'll fight for my city.
The West East podcast is part of the We campaign, also known as Anti-East Indian Hate Campaign by Viragya Entertainment. You can weigh in on the conversation in the meantime in our comments section or on our social media. You can also visit www.imshavam.net/w.e. Remember, Vasudev Kutumbakam. We are all one family. Until next time.